Happy belated New Year, everybody. Hope you had a happy and healthy holiday season. To get 2026 kicked off right, we are going to be looking at a team, very cheesy team, 100% very cheesy team, very cheesy formation, very cheesy play, but I think it is just about unstoppable. We are looking at the South Carolina Gamecocks. Yes, we have Nick Harbor on offense, the 99 speed, 6'5", I think, wide receiver. We got Lenore Sellers at quarterback. We got Dylan Stewart on the defensive side of things. But what really makes this team great, in my opinion, is their empty bunch formation, which I don't believe any other team has in this game, at least according to CFB26. So empty bunch. And there's one specific play we are going to go over here. We actually did South Carolina for our campus tour series. When did that come out? Let me double check. November 13th, the title episode, South Carolina's Empty Bunch is Unstoppable. We knew it then. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into it now. Let's go ahead. We'll include a little gameplay clip of us in that campus tour episode so we can see a little game example of what I'm going to be talking about. But it's an empty bunch, verticals, totally unstoppable play in my opinion. And then we're going to go through the rest of the South Carolina playbook too and see why overall I do think it is a very solid playbook to try out. Let's roll the tape. Do I just go to our empty bunch right now? This seems like a pretty good time. I think this verticals play out of here is very, very good. So I'm going to try it out. At the one, need to find some way to get some breathing room here. So we got Harbor. We're really looking Harbor or phase on right off the rip here. We can just hit our tight end over the middle as well. Hunt with his sure hands. Down with it. How about we hurry up on you? How would you like that, buddy? How would you like that? And we have a QB crack sweep, which could be really good here too. I think I'm going to try. Need that block and then go Sellers, go Sellers, go Sellers, you maniac, you absolute maniac. Lenore Sellers, you stud, you dreamboat, you're unbelievable. Find our way to the edge, let the blocking set up, and Sellers will take care of the rest. Let's go. I'm convinced this empty bunch is really good, so I'm just going to keep running it right now. Why not? He's coming out in double mug mid blitz. Appears to be mid blitz, so we got to look for Hunt or Clark on this. If it is, just put him on a little zig, get our 93 speed Clark with updated Shifty in that spot. You know what's crazy? I was in practice mode using that empty bunch, and I was loving what I was seeing. And I was curious, against mid blitz, because that's something we see quite a bit online, what are the options? What can we do against something like mid blitz? Put a zig on Y. That's what we found. That or your tight end over the middle, unless his user's going to follow that. It's unbelievable. I love that play. I love that play. I love that formation. This team's just a good time, man. This team's just fun. Pretty dang solid, right? So we're going to hop into practice mode here with South Carolina. We'll just go against Missouri. We'll keep the skill level on Heisman. And I am going to show you just how freaking good this empty bunch verticals play is. Without having to do any hot routes, we can keep it 100% stock. I know our guy Miguel, the Freaky Rican, over on Twitch has been using South Carolina quite a bit recently and using this play. He does do a few hot routes. He changes his depth chart around a little bit. He moves Nick Harbor to be where number 3 is in this spot. Nick Harbor is number 8, if you don't know. He likes to throw him on a streak, which is a good one-play touchdown potential. But we are, for the purposes of this, we are just going to keep this play totally stock. We'll look over everything in empty bunch here. It's only 9 plays, so it's not going to take us that long. I do love having a little QB crack sweep thrown in here because, again, a lot of people see empty. They'll come out in something like a double mug, try to send the house at you, send 6, because you can only block 5. Even out of this formation, we cannot block our tight end in this. So having an outside run against those big inside blitzes, always a good thing. Of course, we do need a fast quarterback. People have that. South Carolina has Lenore Sellers. You'll be just fine. Divide wheel is another good pass play in here. Curl flats is solid. H trail smash, very good. Another QB run with a QB draw. But the bell of the ball is going to be verticals out of here. We got a little, well, we'll just call it and we'll get into it. We'll put them in 4-2-5 and we are going to kind of cycle through all the different defenses and show you that this gets open against everything. Like, there's no stock defense in the game that is going to stop this play. Not a single one. So we will start with cover 3 match. We'll just go ahead and throw them in there. So here's just our standard play art, and we are going to keep this all the same. We have Nick Harbor outside on the left, just going kind of down on a fade. Bennett Jr. on a little shake route going over the middle. Hunt on a deep crosser, and a couple wheel routes over on the right. In the wheel route, Faison is on. That kind of tripped me up for a second, is actually going to be our first read, because that is going to tell us a lot about what the defense is in. We'll be able to tell if it's man or if it's zone. If it's pretty much any type of zone, we will be able to snap, throw this to Faison for a quick 8 to 10 yards. Maybe you break a tackle, maybe you make some things happen from there. But it's almost always going to be open against any zone coverage. So Faison's our first read. Then we probably go for Y or A. But first things first, we're going to snap this, look for Faison. This is against cover 3 match. Faison right in that spot right there. Free 10 yards. It's just totally free. Against pretty much, I think, any zone for the most part. The only one I've tried that's done okay against the wheel route specifically is cover 6. That seems to do okay. We can still throw it though. Against any zone, you'll be able to quick throw that wheel route to Faison. Now, also in cover 3, if we know they're in match or man, we could hot route Y. Just that shake route takes a little too long to get open, so you could just throw them on like a regular slant or something like that. And then if we don't want to throw that wheel route, we should have Bennett Jr. or Hunt as long as we have time. But we can just take that quick slant right there to Bennett Jr. against cover 3 match. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, especially because of the 2 wheel routes we have over there on the right. Everybody's just pushing everybody back. Everybody's going vertical. It's really going to open up soft spots underneath for Bennett Jr. on the slant. The further right he goes on the field. Hunt, we're going to have to wait for him to get a little further left, but he should be open on this, kind of towards the left pylon here. See, we just don't have time. But we can see how that was getting open. That's the important thing. As long as you have a good enough offensive line for Hunt, for your tight end, to be able to kind of clear everybody. See, we just don't have time again. Just let me see it. Let me see it. See, we can see A. There he is, standing back there all by himself. Offensive line just doing us no favors here. But we can see how Hunt is getting open on this. I would love to be able to actually throw it once. We were throwing it. Offensive line, throw me a freaking bone here, guys. But yeah, Faison, we can see here too, we cannot actually pass block him. He has to go out on a route. Same thing with A. So we can only be blocking 5 in this formation. We cannot be blocking 6, which is usually what I like against empty. There we go. So we can throw that pretty much right when he gets to that left hash is when he's going to get open. You could wait longer. He's going to get a little deeper downfield. So like if we needed to score a touchdown here from the 30, we would have to wait a little bit as long as this line just hold for a freaking second, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. But we're seeing the point, right? We're seeing A is getting open, our wheel routes getting open, and the slant or even keep it a shake is getting open against cover 3 match. Now, how about against cover 4 match, cover 4 quarters? Who are we looking at here? Again, we're going to look at Faison right away. And that time we do have to wait just a little bit more. We'd love for him to catch that because the purple zone, the flat that linebacker, or I believe that's the linebacker, is on, is actually kind of sticking with him a little bit, but we can pass lead that inside and we can still get that off and still get our 10 to 12 yards just snap throwing the wheel route. Now elsewhere, again, since this is match, we do want to put a slant, maybe even a drag on Bennett Jr. Either way, should be fine. Eventually he's going to clear enough. We can just hit that, another free 6 or 7 yards. Just nice and easy. Now, deeper downfield, cover 4 is going to be a little bit tougher. We might be able to hit A here if we have time. Again, A is getting open. You just need a little bit of time in this. This Missouri defensive line is going to town on us. They are absolutely destroying us. Please just let me throw it to A. There we go. Pass lead that down. Both the deep quarters on that side are going back to Harbor. It opens up for that deep crosser on Hunt. And another thing we can try to do here when we notice the defense like this, with how far back the corners are, we know they're in a deep blue because they're 8 yards off the ball. If they're in like a light blue zone, like a soft squat or a cloud flat, they're usually about 5 yards off the ball. So a lot of times against this, we could just snap throw this to B on his outside wheel too, because that outside corner is not going to get down in time to make a play on it. That inside, that linebacker, the purple zone is too distracted by Faison, so we can pass lead Faison inside. We can pass lead Jacobs outside. If we have time, we can hit Hunt deep. We can throw Bennett on. Let's see how a drag does against against this match, it should do all right. Yeah, you can just get it to Bennett, get a free 8 yards that way. So you got your options against cover 4 match, against cover 3 match. How about against some man coverage? Let's see how this play does. Let's get back to verticals. Let's put them in, let's see, cover 1 hole. Yeah, we can go with that because I feel like this is more the meta that we're seeing, is more people calling cover 1 hole. At least I'm seeing that more. I don't know about you guys. So against man, again, you could keep Bennett on the shake route. Shake routes are actually pretty good against man. So we'll actually keep it here. Now we'll notice how the defense is going to play against phase on. It's going to be a lot tougher. We can still snap throw that thing to phase on for sure. 100% because of where the man coverage is coming from, because of this alignment that we are in. Really forces some mismatches on the defense. So if we pass lead this to the right, we can still snap throw this to phase on right in that window right there and take our free 6 or 7 yards. The man coverages can't get over there fast enough. Now deeper, you can get Hunt on this. Sometimes he has to win on that deep crosser. Bennett Jr., you have to wait for him to clear that yellow zone, which this Missouri defense probably isn't going to give me time to do. So we could just throw him maybe on something a little bit faster, like a slant, and hope he can actually get across that yellow zone in time. Oh, Hunt actually kind of won on that. And then he drops the ball. That's our sure hands tight end, by the way. So you do a slant, you do a drag here on Y, just something to keep him away from that yellow zone. Keep him in, you know, classic man beating routes. I mean, you could throw a zig on him if you want. You could throw a slant on him. If we know our opponent is coming out in man coverage, just go to your classic man beating kind of thing. So the yellow zone has to kind of make a choice between following A or Y on this. He either has to go deep with that crosser or stay shallow to stick with Bennett, much like a user defender would if you are going against another human being. So then we just kind of make that read and go wherever he's not. But against man coverage, we can definitely snap throw that to our wheel. There's Hunt. Good catch there, buddy. Snap throw that to our wheel. Phase on is on, or hot route something on Bennett, or look for Hunt. So we still have 3 options, even against cover 1 hole. Any other defense we even need to try this against? I think I made my point. Oh, how about a Tampa 2? Tampa 2 has no shot. Cover 2 has absolutely no shot. Phase on. Easy. Bang. Right there. Easy. Any zone coverage, phase on is going to be easy yards on. Again, if we have time, we're going to have Hunt on this. I just don't love this offensive line against Missouri. They have not been doing a great job. There's Hunt though. Let's see, can we fit that one in there? Not quite. They did drop back a little bit there. Let's see, please hold right in that window. There it is. So it's right over the top of the linebackers, underneath the safeties is the main spot we're looking for on this crosser on Hunt. But really, the main read right away is going to be phase on that wheel route. And again, like I mentioned, I don't even remember. I think against cover 3 match, because we have so many vertical threats on the right, this underneath route Bennett is on. Keep him on the shake, put him on a slant again, doesn't really matter. Once he gets to that right side of the field, all the zones on the right are going to be backed up so far that we can just throw this right to Bennett. We can see everybody's backing up, has to follow, has to respect the wheel routes, and the deep crosser opens up the underneath. You can just throw one straight to Bennett. That's pretty much every zone coverage. And it'll be the same thing against cover 4 drop. Middle of the field is going to be wide open. Let's put them in. Do we have just like a press man coverage? I think that's the only thing we really have left. But really, press man, it's very similar to the cover 1 hole. I mean, we could just put them in 2 man under. Doesn't that come out pressed? I'm pretty sure it does. But our main thing now, obviously, we're going to have Nick Harbor. Probably not a guy you should press, but we see the press on the outside. We're guessing this is probably man. We can still do that wheel route to phase on, because look who's going to be manned up on him here. It is going to be that Mike linebacker. He is not going to get over there in time to guard phase on, snap throw. Just need to hold on to the ball. Snap throw. I mean, you could even throw him on like a flat or something. If we know this is man and he's manned up by that Mike linebacker, he's just never going to get over there in time to be able to guard phase on, usually even on his wheel route. But our main read, of course, is going to be Harbor. See if he can actually burn his press. Against cover 2 man, it's going to be a little more difficult because of the safety help over the top. So we're looking back over the middle, looking for Bennett Jr., looking for Hunt, put Bennett Jr. on a slant, something like that. I do want to just make sure we can actually catch that wheel route to phase on. But against some of these coverages, you know, you just got to take what they're giving you, whether that's the wheel route to phase on, whether that's an underneath to Bennett, or hopefully every once in a while we can try to burn them deep. And you see, there goes Bennett again. Try to burn them deep with Nick Harbor if they are running some cover 0 pressure, which I guess we could put them in. I feel like we're taking a lot of time talking about this play, but this is the main reason we are in this play. We are in this playbook is because of this play. So I want to put them in a cover 0, just all out blitz. Let's see, man blitz, and I would love to have one with them pressed, but I don't know if we can find one of those. I will do my best. Not really. Let's just throw them in like LB blitz, something where they're sending 6, and we can still see how good this play is against something like this. Again, it's a lot easier knowing the defensive play call, but imagine our first read here is RB. It's phase on. We're gonna snap this, and oh my goodness, there's just nobody over there when they're sending 6 because of where the man is aligned. His man coverage is coming from that safety on the top left. Not going to have a great shot of getting over there to guard that. Other than that, you still got that shake route. You can pass lead that down to give yourself the best chance of catching that. If we have time, we should have Hunt on this, but it's really, if our first read is phase on, like it should be on this play, in my opinion, it's going to be tough to run cover 0 even against an empty formation like this. So that is why I love empty bunch of South Carolina, only in South Carolina, and especially that verticals play. It is, you have somebody against every single type of coverage. It is unbelievable. Now we can go through the rest of the South Carolina playbook. We do have 2 other empties here with empty chips, 2 tight ends attached. I have grown to like this formation. I didn't love it at first. I've come around on it. The flood play, shout out to Boater in our online dynasty, which link for that's in the description if you're interested in checking out an online dynasty. We will be trying the South Carolina playbook probably in year 4. I think we're gonna do Rutgers next. We're in Marshall right now. Every 4 games I like to change up my playbook. It's not a smart thing to do, but I have fun doing it. Slot sale, post cross, some corner strike, some dagger. So this empty chips formation actually very, very good. And having the 2 tight ends attached, with them being on kind of that chip and release routes, it's going to help a lot against some blitzes. It's going to help just having more time to make your reads down the field. We also have empty Y flex. Now this one does have a tight end attached, so we can actually block 6 against a cover 0, a 6-man rush, which is what I love in an empty formation. Between this and empty bunch, that's really the main reason I want to try out this South Carolina playbook. Like wide receiver corners looks great. You have a classic little Y stick, a stick and nod, some slants, some deep digs, some drive posts. Like this is a really, really good empty set. We do have a QB draw. The only thing I would like is if we had like a QB power instead. I just like those runs a little bit better than QB draws. But between these 3 empty formations, you could sit in empty bunch and just call verticals for an entire game, and I'm pretty sure you would win. Then you can mix in some empty Y flex and some empty chips, and there's no reason to ever get out of empty in South Carolina. But if you did want to, they've got some other fun things here as well, starting with wing slot week. So we got a 2 tight end set here, 2 wide receivers, and of course your halfback and your running back, but some really, really good pass options out of here with mesh halfback corner with your running back going out on a little scissors route. Drags from tight ends and slot receivers are very, very difficult for defenses to guard, so having those with that scissors route and a deep post, which for South Carolina, Nick Harbor is going to be on that deep post. Yes, sir, we like that. Smash is a good one. Halfback base is a good run. We have a good little inside zone. Always nice to have an inside zone in all these different formations we want to try, but this little section of 3 plays is what really caught my attention in this. What a sneaky little speed option, going away from your 2 tight ends, going to your 2 wide receivers, or again, having a 6'6", whatever he is, Nick Harbor, it should help. He should be able to get out there and make some blocks, but then mix in some of the RPO zone alert bubbles and an RPO sweep alert bubbles. Nobody's going to expect an RPO to the 2 receiver side in a formation like this. So I love the looks of that. Love the looks of PA Dagger. Just really, really like the looks of this wing slot week, as long as you got 2 good enough tight ends to be able to pull that one off. We do have some doubles in here with doubles off close. The next main formation we're going to look at, though, is going to be Y trio offset week. Normal Y off week, stack Y off, doubles Y off week. A lot of good stuff in here. A lot of good stuff in here. Y off trip stack if you are struggling against some press man coverage. And guess what? They can't press number 3 on this play art if he's stacked up on that receiver number 4. So Y trio offset weak. 3 receivers, a tight end, and a halfback in this formation. We've got a lot of outside motion going on here, a motion wide receiver option. So having a fast quarterback in the South Carolina playbook is definitely going to help a ton. We saw the QB run in the empty bunch. We saw the speed option in wing slot week. Now how about a motion wide receiver option? I do want to run this one really quick just to see. We'll put them just in a random 4-2-5. Oh, didn't mean to put them in under, but it doesn't matter. I just kind of want to see how this works. And this is an option going to Nick Harbor. So I'm keeping this with sellers no matter what. Probably not a good idea to make reads like that so early. And then we want to pitch it to Nick Harbor, and look at that man move. Look at that man move. I definitely pitched that way too early, but I just wanted to get it to sellers, or to Harbor. I love that this goes to Nick Harbor. And we didn't make any like, we'll just keep this one with sellers. Hold those blocks, boys. Pretty good play. Pretty good play with the South Carolina team. Yeah, we didn't make any changes to the depth chart or anything, so if you just boot up a game with South Carolina, this is exactly how it would set up. And having a triple option where your pitch man is Nick Harbor is filthy. That is absolutely insane. But elsewhere in this formation, we do have some pretty good looking pass plays here with this post wheel drag. Big wheel route on your halfback, a little short crosser on your tight end, corner route on RB. I would probably hot route something on X. I just don't love that it's like a slant and then a go and then a post. Like that's just a little too much going on. And we see our offensive line really struggles even against the Missouri defensive front, so I probably wouldn't do that. But high-low dig, this was one of my favorite plays in, what is it called? Something Trips Nasty. Trips X Nasty, maybe? I know Hawaii has it. I know a few other teams have it. But this is just a fantastic high-low built into the play. We don't have to hot route anything. A sneaky little seam streak going from your tight end. That big in route, B is on that deep dig, and then a whip route on RB. Very, very good, just stock play call there, high-low dig. So that's why we like Y trio offset weak. We've got a couple good things in their spread formations too. First, F twins over. I do want to talk about this for a second because this was the main reason South Carolina was so gosh dang annoying last year. Them and Alabama. F twins over was so good last year. The jet touch pass mainly, and then mix in some of those QB runs was so difficult to deal with. You had to set up your defense a very specific way to try to shut this down. Personally, I'm kind of glad they they nerfed it a little bit this year. We do have some bunch wide, which looks pretty good. I love branch return, smash return, as it's called in some other formations. Just having that little option route on A. So if it's zone, he's going to sit over the middle there. If it's man, he's going to keep going with the drag. The return route on B and that corner on RB. And then a really sneaky deep dig on X as everybody's kind of coming down to watch that drag or return route. Very, very good play. Seam divide is good. Flanker drive, okay. Y trail, solid. Clear out, FL in. This can be a bomb against the right type of defense. I believe is some cover threes. Verticals, always good to have some verticals, always good to have some inside zone. So bunch wide looks pretty solid. I'm just not the biggest bunch wide guy. Now between their spreads, the spread offset, I actually don't like the looks of. We do have some more QB runs here with jet power read. We have a jet touch pass, a few different jet motions. We do have an inside zone, but passing wise, I don't know. I mean, we have Y cross, which is nice. Smash corners is fine. Dagger curls is fine. But outside of that, there's nothing that's really screaming to me when it comes to the pass plays in these spread formations in spread offset. Now spread Y slot weak and Y flex weak, now we're talking a little bit. So spread Y slot, Y stick, classic little air raid play actions, slot rub out. That sounds kind of dirty. We got a corner strike in here. We've got smash. We got shallow cross. Again, setting up a little high-low over the middle there between A and Y. Z shallow, very similar thing. This time, though, it is B, and A is going out on a wheel route. We have a classic little mesh play. Can never go too wrong with mesh. Shallow cross, one of my favorite concepts in the entire game, creating a little mesh between your slot receiver and your halfback. I like to throw a post on A, just make a little bit more depth and that high-low over the middle of the field. So spread Y slot, I think looks like a very, very good formation. Spread Y flex weak, we've got some very interesting plays here with B coming in motion on all of these three different plays. One going on a whip cross there. There's a lot going on over on the left, so maybe you'd clear out, put like a streak or maybe even a post on Y just to get a little more separation in between those routes. They have motion double post here as well, with B coming in motion and they're just kind of sitting right in that spot, which would be good against a lot of different zone coverages, unless they're shaded underneath or they got like 5-yard hooks on or something like that. PA dagger, again, I like the high lows going over the middle of the field. So anything with those, I'm going to be pretty in on. And double cross, very similar to what we saw with shallow cross and spread wide slot. We're getting a mesh between our halfback going out to the right and our slot receiver on the right, going on a drag to the left, and then throw a post on Y, and baby, you got a stew going. Love the looks of that play. Got a few more motion plays here for B. I mean, he's running the same route every single time. Just a motion little quick out route can be very good against man coverage things here as well. Double post, PA Y cross, you got an inside zone. So spread Y flex weak, I think looks really good. Mix that in with some spread Y slot, and you got a couple good spread formations here. We also got a few really good trips formations with trips Y slot strong. This crossers play looks unbelievable. This, I think, would kill pretty much any zone coverage. You should have somebody open on that. You can maybe even sneak your halfback out on a streak, because RB and A are going to be and B are going to be pushing all the zones kind of back, kind of like what we saw in empty bunch verticals. You could sneak your halfback out underneath, but if you leave it as is, that should open some things up for X underneath those routes as well. A shallow screen, I'm not a big fan of. A decent user can blow that play up, because that's your only route on the field. So that's his only concern. But we do have some more mesh out of here. Drags coming from even where X is, because he's not really out super wide, at least according to this play art. So yeah, see how much closer to the line of scrimmage it looks like than it looks like from the actual formation screen. So with Harbor being closer to the offensive tackle and our tight end over on the right running a little mesh, I love that 1-2 combo. Defenses are really going to struggle, especially if it's Nick Harbor. If you're trying to guard Nick Harbor one-on-one with no help, good luck, buddy. Well, no matter what route he is on, you are going to need some help here. So it's really just these three plays where he's in a little bit tighter. Another reason why I like kind of this set of three. But elsewhere, slot 2 buck is also a very good pass play. Another good inside zone run, PAY cross. You got some dagger, you got some RPOs. So trips Y slot strong looks very, very good here. We also have trips Y slot weak. This one, I don't know. We do have some good plays in here, like deep flood. Curls can be very good against, I think it's matching cover 3. You can get a touchdown to A on that as long as you have enough time. Y cross with a little whip route going out to the right. PA quarterback choice. So you do have some solid pass plays in here, but I think trips Y slot strong looks a little bit better. So that's really it for the shotgun of South Carolina. We do have a little bit of pistol here with U off, doubles Y off close, and Y off trips. I believe one formation of single back. Yep, some single back bunch. So I do like single back bunch typically. They just don't have the best plays out of here. It's all play action boots, which is good if you have a quarterback like Lenora Sellers. I do like having a crack toss in there if they're coming out in some big heavy cover 0 blitzes, something we can get outside with really quick. So there's some potential in their single back bunch, but I just feel like it's missing all the good plays that we like out of a lot of other bunches. Like we don't have a single RPO. You have a pitch wide receiver reverse, which there's no way that ever works. I'd be shocked. And of course, another thing that made South Carolina very annoying last year was their Wildcat. Still pretty solid. You can still get one play touchdowns running the jet reverse pass, but kind of like F twins over, it did end up getting nerfed at least a little bit throughout College Football 26. So yeah, that is really it for our review of South Carolina. The main takeaway is the empty bunch, which is specific to South Carolina, exclusive to South Carolina, and the verticals play. Go into a game, you can just run this the entire game, you'll get wins. It's so unbelievably impossible to cover, and especially with a team like South Carolina. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you next week for another playbook review. We are getting back to our regular schedule here now that the holidays are over. We have this coming out on Saturday, and then Sunday through Thursday is going to be campus tours coming out at 6 p.m. Central. Then every Saturday, playbook reviews coming out at 9 a.m. Central. Yeah, I think that covers everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.